Hey, what's up? I'm back. I'm back with the homies, the longtime homies. We are getting together to talk about POME, product of my environment. It's one of my favorite companies out there. It's where this t-shirt comes into play. I wanted to bring them on because they're doing some really cool stuff. They've inspired me without ever even knowing about it, getting me back out in nature, getting in touch with all the stuff that makes me me. So I wanted to bring them on and talk about their mission, where they see themselves in the future, and everything. So I've got Jeremy, Renee, and Rob here to talk about their company, product of my environment.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
What's going on?
Well, we're hanging today for
Yeah.
sure.
As you've been repping, our Nature is Never Closed tee. We did a new line with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're amidst the pandemic right now, which has been trying for everybody. And we can elaborate a little bit more about what that Nature's Never Closed means to us.
Yeah, for sure. No, well, I wanted to start off with having you guys explain what POME is. Where did it originate? Why should people support it like I do?
Definitely. So POME actually started about 10 years ago, even though we kind of have rebranded, relaunched. That's a perfect way to put it. Pivoted a few times. I actually started it back in college at Michigan State University in 2010. So we're pretty much on our 10-year anniversary for your 10th episode. Kind of cool.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome.
Kind of
That's
cool.
actually
pretty cool.
Just thought of that. So that works out nicely. But started it off as more of a fusion between streetwear, lifestyle apparel, city culture, art, music, and the outdoors, nature, lakes, mountains, skiing, all of that stuff, and kind of a fusion between the two. Because honestly, that's who I was. That's who I grew up as. That's who these guys were too. We all grew up in Michigan. We met in college at Michigan State. And Michigan has a good, Detroit's a metropolitan city, a lot of other small, medium-sized cities too with culture, arts, music, that sort of thing. But then we also had the outdoor aspect, going up north, going out in the lakes all the time, hikes, sand dunes. So that's really where the vision of the brand came from, product of my environment. We grew up in those two different kind of lifestyles, but fusing them together for, product of my environment. We are all that, a product of our environment. So
it's got a vision behind the apparel aspect. Like that's what I really relate to. Obviously, you guys see me doing cold plunges out in nature every time I hike and all this stuff. This is the shirt. This is the brand. Putting the face behind the people, or the face behind the company, whatever.
People
You know what you meant.
face or the whatever.
What kind of environmental and social awareness are you guys bringing?
So as part of that, a portion of each purchase we donate to charities, and we like to focus those around three different aspects. The first is the environment, second is people and animals. So really just kind of touching all bases there. So that's kind of one of the primary things we do. And then outside of that, we organize cleanups in Denver, help with a couple of charities here, Rocky Mountain.
Food Bank of the Rockies is
Food Bank of
one.
the Rockies.
Jeffco Eats, which provides food for kids in Jefferson County when they're out of school. So kids that get free or subsidized lunches during school, this program gives them food to take home for weekends or days when they're not at school.
Yeah, very recently I saw these guys loading up a big old U-Haul of 700 boxes.
700 boxes.
That was just yesterday, actually.
Yeah, just yesterday.
Yeah.
What was in it? What's it for? Who was it going to?
Yeah, so essentially we worked with Jeffco Eats yesterday and we went to their space and they had, I had to lug 30, 50 boxes of pasta, set it up, open it out. It had anything from tuna packages to applesauce to beans, oats, really anything that can help a family make at least some sort of small meal or a child, but there's probably 10 to 15 items in each bag with beverages as well and snacks, and you pretty much just go through the line, package up all these bags with an array of children to older couples helping you out, and load them up, ship them, and send them. It's crazy.
You guys are producing smiles.
Yeah.
We try to, man.
We were smiling. It felt so good to just no matter how groggily I woke up in the morning and it's 8 a.m., you're trying to get there, and then you get there, and it's just so much good, you know, for
Yeah.
the community.
The cool thing now too, especially with having to wear masks and stuff, it's like you have to smell it with your eyes. So like seeing that in people's eyes, not just like in their whole face.
Oh,
It's kinda
interesting.
Like,
Very good.
It's kind of like a
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah.
That's very true, Rob. I like that.
That's really cool.
So we kind of use the apparel as just a vehicle for our a way to do good in the world through the community, through the environment, and through helping animals as well, like Rob said. So this is just the external, like what you see, but there's so much more behind it, the helping aspect.
We'll definitely get into that. Well, let's talk about, I guess, the eco-friendly, environmentally friendly stuff that you guys use. Is that sustainable stuff? Go more into describing what your products are all about.
Yeah, so it's actually not just our products. It's pretty much everything we do from on the business side too. From our shipping labels, our packaging, just the paper and pens we use on a daily basis. We always take that into consideration. A lot of materials we use, come from recycled plastic bottles. We use a lot of organic cottons. Hemp, getting into hemp.
Getting into some hemp.
Nice.
And the real intriguing thing for us is like the apparel industry and these fabrics are constantly expanding and looking for new things. So like we're starting to get into some of these new kind of out there materials like eucalyptus, which is kind of a new one that's kind of coming up, which should be pretty cool and we're excited about.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are innovators.
Trying to be, man. It'd be awesome to have a materials lab someday that we can go pull random trees and plants and food rinds and whatever and figure out how we can make that into sustainable fabrics. That'd be...
It's also crazy because none of us went to school for fashion, and we also didn't go to school for sustainable fashion.
Yeah.
And that's like what the world is teaching you at all the fashion design schools. So we're constantly trying to like stay up, do programs to like learn more about this and get in with resources in the area who can like help teach us. And so eventually we can have our own mini lab or work through somebody else's lab as like mentors or internships, so
You're figuring it out.
we're forever learning.
Yeah.
We're all business people, supply
Isn't that
chain,
true?
engineers, so it works out well for us, designing the original POME tees back in college.
Yeah.
Or like a bar crawl t-shirt for somebody,
That was some of the first shirts that we collabed on were bar crawl shirts in college, and I remember drawing the original logo sitting at my college job behind a desk at the gym, drawing the logo that you see on everything. And
Yeah.
What do you suggest those people that want to do that do? I mean, they have maybe a drawing, they have the desire, they see what other people are doing.
Maybe going into that, if they have the opportunity for a university or even using YouTube University, as we talked about earlier, to just explore sustainable fashion and textile design. With an iPhone these days, kids are designing crazy things that I would have only dreamed to do on a computer, and they're using it all on their phone. So
Are there some cool facts to go along with, like, I'm saving 100 water bottles by buying the shirt?
A shirt that's 100% recycled poly is about 4 recycled water bottles. So that's a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
Like a face mask, kind of like ski face mask, is about 1 full recycled water bottle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
So it puts it in.
If you guys don't recycle out there, start.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know.
Yeah. Number 1.
Hydrate.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
And I know the recycling industry is an emotional roller coaster. I will say that, where is our recycled products going, especially locally here in Denver? And half the people think that it's not worth it because they see it all just go into one spot. I believe we actually have a blog article piece about Denver-specific rules on what you can put in the recycling, what you can't. But think about it that way. Your next recycled bottle could be our shirt.
Yeah.
Very good point.
So it's something to think about when you're out there like, COVID, I don't want to pick that bottle up, but also pick it up. Who cares,
Even if you pick it up and, I hate to say this, put it in the trash, it's at least not in the local environment, local ecosystem.
In the river.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're tuning in from, but trash and just shit out there people throw outside their cars, or just, it's so lazy.
Yeah.
Stop doing
So
that shit.
lazy.
Yeah.
Come on. Care about Mama Gaia.
Yeah, one of the easiest things you can do.
And especially growing up in West Michigan, where I'm from, we have the sand dunes and the beaches. And I just recently went home in March during the pandemic, was there for a month, and I saw microplastics on our beaches of Lake Michigan. And obviously it took 31 years for it to get there, but
Jeez.
it's scary.
Sheesh.
And that's not even off of the ocean. It's
Yeah,
off of
that's
one of the
right.
largest freshwater resources we have.
In
you
the
know?
world, yeah.
So that was heartbreaking for me. And so recycle, compost, do your part, you know.
Well, again, I've said this before, but POME's probably my favorite apparel company. That's why I wanted to get them on here and give some insight as to what they're doing and all the cool stuff that comes along with their brand. So in each of y'all's own words, I'll give you a 2-3 minute segment or 30 seconds. Doesn't really matter. We're here to have fun, right?
44
But,
minutes live.
through your heart, through your vision, what do you want our listeners to learn or gain insight to? Where's your heart thinking, or what is your heart wanting to portray to someone that is just like, oh, this is just another T-shirt company or a hat company, like?
So, being that we are now an outdoor apparel company, our main goal is to protect the natural playgrounds that we all love to play in. Our apparel is made to be in those outdoor spaces, and if we don't protect those outdoor spaces, then we won't be able to do the hobbies and sports that we love to do in nature.
Protect and respect.
Yeah, protect and respect. And so, not only are we doing our part, we're doing educational things, as Renee said, leading cleanups, doing the volunteer work, but we're also posting about things on blogs, trying to direct questions to resources for people to teach them about, wearing something on your body that, has the least amount of toxins possible to help your body, your human body as well.
Yeah, a lot of people say like you are what you eat. Like you are what you wear too. I mean, same thing applies there.
Yeah.
That's true. That's why people buy $100,000 watches.
So they must be worth that.
Yeah. You definitely
guess,
are
I
what
mean,
you wear.
I don't know. Maybe there's a guy wearing a Rolex out there that doesn't think he's the coolest person.
Maybe.
It's like my old landlord who played hockey. He was a total scrub in Steamboat, and he would put on his nice blazer when they went to the Aspen hockey tournament. He's like, look like you have $1 million in Aspen.
Feel like
Maybe you do.
I'm not gonna lie. I have a members only jacket. I have a certain cologne that I put on anytime I just want to.
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
it's like a little alter ego booster.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong
Sweet
with that at all.
Sock game strong.
Socks on fleek. I like those. I do like those socks, man.
You guys gonna start producing socks?
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually.
Sock game is something that we would all like to get into, and it's high on our list,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, especially with kind of our big focus on the outdoors. It's like a good pair of hiking socks goes a long way. So
For sure.
It really does.
I told Ryan about this last week. I was like, and you know how Google Maps, you can share your location with everybody anywhere in the world? But this is a little far-fetched and kind of off topic, but if I'm hiking in Colombia and I get taken, right, by Liam Nelson or whatever, like they take my phone, they take everything, they take my wallet, they're not going to take my socks. So I want to know if there's like some kind of GPS tracker device thing that my loved ones
An
back at
eco-friendly
home can
chip?
find me.
Like a backpacker chip in your,
Yeah.
if someone's doing the Appalachian Trail or something.
Exactly.
Well, maybe we'll just put the compass on a
there
sock.
we go.
That's
Always
enough.
looking
Right?
Yeah,
It'll
yeah,
just help you
always
find your way home. Just
Exactly.
the compass.
Yeah.
No, that's a fantastic idea, man. We'll need to look into some of the wearable
Don't steal it,
Yeah.
or cut me in.
Reach out to
we'll
us.
give
We
you
can all
50%.
develop it together.
But yeah, I don't know why I came up with that. It was just one of those, like, if I get lost somewhere in a foreign country that I don't know where I'm at, being a product of my environment,
Yeah.
and something horrible happens to me, how is anybody going to find me?
That's super good.
They're not going to take my socks. That's just,
Yeah.
and if they do, that's bad.
It's hard.
Wrong,
I must have had
man.
it coming if they take my
Yeah,
socks.
They must have needed those.
But yeah. So I don't know if you answered
Expand
what.
on it, Nate.
Yeah, coming full circle to that question, mindfulness is huge for us. we all kind of have been on our own spiritual journey, and mindfulness has been a key that like brings us back and reroutes us. So mindfulness of the environment. We obviously within our apparel want to like put that out there for people because what you wear is what you are. Is that what it is?
What you wear is
yeah,
what
what you eat is what you are.
I think so.
So mindfulness in that aspect of your body, the community, being compassionate to humans and kind and supporting your community and being a part of it. So obviously we naturally love to volunteer, but putting on the cleanups, like this, especially all those protests this summer that happened. Denver did a good job of cleaning it up, but like part of it, the city was thrashed, So yeah, it was COVID, yeah, it was protest, but we social distanced and went out there and we're cleaning up the streets, the alleyways. It's kind of gnarly out there in some spots.
Well, and kind of what I get from both of what you guys have said is consciousness equals mindfulness, being consciously aware of what you're throwing out, what you're consuming, what you're doing, who you're helping, why you're doing the damn thing, whatever it is. So yeah, driving the vehicle. I like that, mindfulness.
Yeah, we're forever working on that, and I think that's one of the big transitions we've all seen in the past, especially year or two. Like I'm off the grid right now, like this debuting is as much as you'll probably see me until
That's true.
You won't
she's January.
She's in hiding.
Yeah, so if you've been trying to reach me, you can find me on the Open Everything podcast or email me. But yeah, I went off the grid super hard because I needed to bring it back and like create my own mindfulness of my company, my business partners, my family, my personal community, my energy, So definitely sparking awareness among others. And
Word, I like that.
Yeah, I think we all kind of did that in our own way recently. I know, Jeremy, you recently came off your hangout hiatus.
I've been doing kind of similar to Renee, hangout hiatus, kind of break from social media unless
you're
it's
my
business.
inspiration, yeah.
Well, unless it's business related, and it's hard to describe that to friends and family sometimes, but
Yeah, and then this summer I actually took off and I have a converted school bus.
The POME mobile.
Yeah, the POME
Yeah.
bus.
Or is there a name
No.
for it?
POME bus,
The
that's
POME
about it right now.
unofficial POME bus, POME mobile.
Yeah.
POME mobile.
Yeah, so that was kind of my way of getting off the grid and kind of like coming back and just taking some time to slow down and really like figure things out, especially with everything going on in the world, man. It was so nice just to not be watching the news, not being on social media every day, and just actually be out and enjoy
In nature.
Yeah.
That's not closed.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, again, just to bring all that back to, I think if you took any one of I know we've talked about a lot of things we do and a lot of things we believe in and stand for and all these different facets of us, but if you bring it all back in, I think mindfulness is like at the core of all of those tangents. So that was really well put, Nate.
Yeah.
Right on. Yes, so I've been in this POME mobile and it was badass. So I wanted to ask Rob, what's the coolest place you've ever been in it? And what kind of vibe or epiphany did you have from going here? What's one of the more memorable adventures that you took?
Yeah, so when the whole pandemic hit and things started shutting down, it really like I took a step back. I got furloughed from work. I was working part-time, just kind of figuring out what to do next and like what time better than ever to just take off in the POME mobile, for me. So spent a good month just kind of fixing it up again, getting ready to go. And I was living in Michigan at the time, just recently moved out to Denver. These guys have been trying to get me out here for years, so they finally did
worked.
Yes.
Peer pressure. Peer pressure can work.
Part of that too was because of the adventure of the POME bus. I spent a lot of time in Colorado and Denver with these guys, with other people throughout my journey. So that really got me over the hump of getting out here. But to take it back to your question, I left from Michigan and first headed up to the East Coast, like Vermont and Maine. And not even a week into the trip, it was very discouraging because of COVID. I go to Vermont, try to jump in the lake, and they won't even let me go jump in the lake because I'm out of state. Like,
Interesting.
So they were shutting down hard in the East Coast. So finally made it up to Maine and found this cool campground called Duck Puddle. If you're looking for a campsite in Maine, go there.
Duck.
Get puddled by the ducks.
But yeah, this was like this is probably the most memorable part of the trip. Was I was just sitting there at my campsite. This little kid walks up and just picking up trash, and he walks right up to me and picks up there's a cigarette butt on the ground right there, and I feel bad because he probably thinks it's mine. Like I don't smoke, and if I did, I wouldn't throw my cigarette butt on the ground. Mm-hmm. But he picks it up and he's just like, yeah, we're just walking around the campsite picking up trash, and I'm like, that is awesome.
Hell yeah.
So this
So
was shortly
cool.
after we released our Nature's Never Closed line, which was partially inspired by the pandemic. So I went and grabbed a sticker and go hand it to him, and he's a little confused at first, and then I'm like, do you know what that says? He's like, no.
I even know
So
my
I'm
name.
like, it says Nature's Never Closed, and all of a sudden you see this kid's eyes light up, huge smile. He just totally got it and hit home with him. Just never seen a kid so happy just for something so simple but so true,
So
right?
cool.
Yeah.
And he just runs skipping off down the campsite like waving the stick in the air. Like it was,
Hell yeah.
a lot of memorable trips, especially being in cool places and seeing cool stuff. But that was the one that kind of like resonated most with me.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's so
That is
cool.
great.
When was Nature Never Closed actually released? Like,
Man, that was right.
It was
March.
early.
was it
Yeah.
March?
Yeah, it was late February, early March, I think.
We were just kind of sitting there on a call, just like, man, this sucks. Everything's closed. Like, what do we do? Like, what are people doing?
But we're all
Like,
still getting out, doing what we can, hikes, and still venturing out into the wilderness when we're able. So
Yeah.
This particular brand and this shirt inspired the shit out of me. Like, I was wondering when it
Thanks,
came
man.
out because I went camping 9 times this
Yeah.
year.
Dude.
I went to the beach. I know people are gonna hate on that for a minute, but like, nature is for us to cleanse ourselves. You know how many cold plunges I've been doing?
Nature
with this shirt?
therapy
Heck
is
yeah.
huge.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
that helped us all get through that pandemic. So we were sitting there talking about that, and we wanted to provide for people who are out of work too. So we created this line and we donated. Like the first month it came out, all of our proceeds went to a charitable profit. We held on virtual yoga sessions for people
Yep.
by donation or free. Just mindfulness and mental health is huge for us. We wanted to keep people in check. So that was our thing. Nature's Never Closed. Obviously that was great, like you got to get outside. But we wanted to give back to the community and donate and kick back to whatever charity, whoever needed money too. And like everybody was creating something in our industry. That wasn't our main purpose of it, but we needed to come out with something.
we needed to be creative. We needed to use our creative juices since we were stuck inside, for
Yeah.
work and stuff as well. So it was a good outlet for us.
That was the
Yeah.
coolest part almost about pandemic is all of these small businesses who we all thought were getting shut down, all of our musician friends, we all had to get innovative and creative to figure out how to survive and obviously give back to the community. So we were scrambling, like how do we stay in the game? How do we impact people during this pandemic? We don't know where this is gonna go, And for me too, I went on like a little mini tour on the East Coast, then back to Michigan, actually with my friends who flew into New York and their whole tour got shut down, so that was sad. And then I went home, ended up staying for a month on Lake Michigan, and literally I was outside paddleboarding every day, cruising on the longboards to the beach, and it was crazy because it's mud season up there for us in the winter, so there's nobody at the beach besides locals, and to see other places getting shut down, I was scared, like Sundays when everybody went to the state park to watch the sunset and it's high COVID. I'm like, everybody be social distancing
Yeah.
because I don't want my private
Yeah.
beach to get shut down.
True.
But I was outside every day, kayaking, hiking,
Yeah.
polar plunging in Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
You were polar plunging in like
Boulder
March
Creek.
and Boulder.
Yeah.
You're psycho, but you inspired me. But you inspired me to do at least 5 minutes to
Heck
10 minutes
yeah.
in Lake Michigan.
I can only do 3.
It helps
Yeah.
the mental,
Yeah,
like
it
you
does.
guys all know. I mean,
Yeah.
cold water cleanses the soul.
Especially during a time where your mental ability is going off the wall, to be able to control that and bring it back down a little bit. Power of breath work, power of polar plunging, whatever. Nature therapy was real, and like that helped me get through the pandemic.
And like you said, you vibed with that real hard. I mean, it's in your logo, and it's kind of been your mantra for
20
20.
water bottle.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a reminder every damn day.
But even me, honestly, I moved from Steamboat down to Denver, 3.5, 4 years ago? And I put Steamboat on the back burner for like a year or two. I also, when we went full send just working, I didn't get in the mountains for like a year or
at
two.
least.
And so even me, I had a summer that was a little unusual like everybody else. I would hike to 14er every single month, one a month. That was our goal.
Which is amazing.
Every Tuesday we were hiking something. Me and my friend Shauna, who also reps Nature's Never Closed super hard. As soon as I got back, we made a commitment. Every Tuesday, Wednesday when she was off, we'd get in nature and just do it. You know, we had to.
It was, you guys crushed that.
And then that
too. I was
turned into
super
a
proud.
14er every single month up until, honestly, we did the sand dunes in November, which was crazy. A little bit snowy for our liking, so we actually didn't summit that one.
Yeah.
But we made it to the base, and that was sick. But we crushed it. You know, we camped, we hiked, we did everything. And also, we inspired so many. Our good girlfriend, Allison Reiser, who just bought a Nature's Never Closed hat as well, she did 100 hikes this whole year.
Wow.
Especially during the pandemic. Like,
So
she's
cool.
sick. You should have her on your podcast. We're going to have her do part of our new series, Nature's Never Closed. We're about to launch, I think, on Tuesday the 15th.
Nice.
New
We'll talk
blog
more.
series.
Yeah, new blog series. We'll talk more about that later. But she's like, this hat, Nature's Never Closed, means so much to me and makes everything like my 100 hikes.
Kind of has become, I guess I said it earlier, but like a mantra for 2020, just to.
And for life now.
Yeah,
For
and going
sure.
Forward, I
But
mean, it's like,
2020 for sure.
especially now with technology and kids and how, like, you know, they're getting iPhones when they're 5, like they're just glued to these things. They're forgetting, and they're not experiencing some of the things that we all did growing up that like really are true to us. It's getting
For
out.
sure.
Go outside until dinner
Yeah.
time and you can't come back in.
Yeah.
Riding bikes,
Yeah.
building forts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Playing
kill
tackle
it.
football.
Yeah, the neighbor's side field.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just email me and call my landline.
Come knock on my
Seriously.
door.
Dial
like,
up
walk
internet
outside,
was
yeah.
real.
Yeah.
Oh,
Renee
and-
at productofmyenvironment.com.
there you go.
Seriously, that's the only way you'll reach me.
But no, Rob's got a great point too. Yeah, the Nature's Never Closed, inspiring the youth to get off their devices and just take a walk around the block. Even it doesn't have to be summiting a 14er in the middle of Colorado. It could be,
Walk your dog.
yeah, you're in Los Angeles and you take a 2-block walk around the neighborhood and just appreciate the flowers and appreciate the
Practice
trees and
your-
the sun and
Practice your TikTok outside.
there you go.
I
Combine the two.
Anything, really.
I was with Jay. They were promoting POME at Beanstalk Fest out in Bond,
A
Colorado.
few years
It was
ago.
a few years ago, and this little kid comes up to me at y'all's tent. I was like, "What is that?" And the tent next to us had a little air plant. So I pulled the air plant up, and I was like, "This is a plant. It lives, and it doesn't even need to grow in the ground." He gave me like these big eyes
Sorcerer.
and ran off.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Especially at Beanstalk, too. That was really fun.
I'll never forget that because it's just like he was so scared, like couldn't process it. And I still can't process how an airplane grows not from
That's
the ground.
amazing, dude.
I got a green thumb and I don't even mess with them.
Yeah, I'm out on those.
Yeah, mine died.
So yeah, Jay, I wanted to ask you, how has POME helped you tap into your true authentic self
So my true authentic self, I guess,
as the OG
in
originator?
the shortest version, my true authentic self is POME. Everything that has gone into it, the designs, the philanthropic side, the sustainability side, that's just who I have grown into as a person. And so that's kind of me, like, pulling my heart out and putting it into a brand is POME in my estimation, I guess. And then, you know, meeting these guys in college and seeing how we're on the same wavelength and how similar minded we all are, I was like, oh shit, this is exactly who they are at their core too. So it really is wearing our heart on your sleeve. Our sleeve is what POME is. I started off as a kid, 5 years old, drawing like custom Nike basketball shoes and full custom jerseys and outfits and stuff.
Gus Hacker.
Yeah, I didn't have any training in art really, but I just loved it. And my dad owned an outdoor apparel retailer up on Mackinac Island in Michigan called Mackinac Outfitter Marine Supply. So he sold Patagonia, North Face, Nike, Columbia, all the brands. And then at like 10 to 12 years old, I got to start picking brands for his store, what I thought was cool. I was really into skateboarding at that point. So I picked up DC, Dakine, Spy. He had Oakley. So I really got into the apparel side of things through that. And then that kind of fused into like a branding mindset with my love for design of apparel and shoes. and then picking the brands and working in his store, figuring out what good quality brands are, having a lifetime guarantee for our products. If there's anything that goes wrong with it, send it back. We'll replace it or refund you. Like really being true to what you're trying to do as a company and just very transparent with your clients and in the community, There's too many brands out there that do too much backdoor, behind closed curtain type of stuff. And it's just not who we are at all, man. All about transparency, all about leading with love. That was a mantra that I had in a meditation at the first of this year in 2020. And so yeah, man, just the brand itself is just mindfulness, leading with love, and trying to bring everybody together, bring the earth together, and grow and help each other prosper and do well. I don't know.
I heard on Aubrey Marcus' podcast, the quote was like, anything bound to fear is. I'm not.
One of my.
It's like anything that goes with fear is bound to that fear. Anything that comes from love is bound to love.
I really vibe with that one.
Where's that one quote? Ryan put it up. It was a meme, but it was like, there's some crazy guy out there meditating underneath a waterfall that has no idea how fearful and scared he's supposed to be.
That's perfect.
That is perfect.
And that ties into this quote that I love. Also, I believe from Aubrey Marcus's podcast. I think one of his counterparts, Eric Godsey, said it. I don't know if it's Eric's or not, but perfectionism is what smart people call fear. And that's been a big thing. One of my intentions for 2020 is getting over my OCD and perfectionism and needing everything to be, 100% before I can show someone or release it. And so I've really been getting behind that quote. Perfectionism is what smart people call fear, because there is no thing as perfect. It's a fallacy. There's
only fear.
Oh yeah, bullshit. There's no such thing as perfect.
I was about to say, man. I mean, a lot of people struggle with that. I mean, I know we all do. We're all humans, right? This is, the nature is never closed. In particular, to me, reminds me to get out of your body, get out of your head, get out of the routine that could be toxic. I don't know. I mean, I don't know your life, but at the same time, for me, it makes me remember. Oh, I'm the calmest. I'm the most peaceful. I'm the most happy in nature, in outdoors, wherever I need to be. So, maybe it'll call to you. I love that quote.
You working on that has spiraled into working with me. I feel like we've had like a crazy past couple of years. We're best friends. We're brother and sister. We're business partners. Everything.
Not afraid to tell it how it is.
Yeah.
Tough love has been huge in our relationship because we love each other, and him working on his fears and insecurities, projecting them onto me sometimes, or me doing to him. We've worked with each other to like hone in peace within ourselves and with our relationship.
Just grown individually and as a friendship,
Together.
and then that spills into the business and spills into with Rob. And
is there anything that our listeners can learn from partnerships? How to deal with other people that have not necessarily egos, but
I think be open to everything, be honest.
Yeah.
Open to everything and be honest. And if you love somebody, obviously tell them that you love them. But if you love them enough, and something needs to be corrected in their world or your world, definitely bring it up and definitely be honest.
Then on the receiving side of that too is like, be open to criticism, be willing to understand. People are telling you this for a reason. They're not just saying, oh, this because I think you're doing this because of this. It's like they have their reasonings. They have their mindset of why they're saying this to you, right? So
they probably wouldn't tell you if they didn't care about you.
Yeah. If it's not coming from a place of love, then they'd say, all right, screw you. You're not worth my time to even mention it to.
Yeah.
That was actually a hard thing for me. I've had a couple of critiques. I've had a lot of good feedback for Open to Everything, but certain people took this the wrong way, or I really related with your guest and I saw that you did not. And I'm like, well, no, the platform is essentially like, I want my listeners to vibe with the people that come on. It's not that I disagree. I just have a different perspective. Being open to these things, you don't have to take it personally. You don't have to judge me for having this different perspective on open relationships. Or it's just we're open to everything here.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect. Respect the planet, respect humans.
Yeah.
That's
be a
part
good
of
person.
Yeah, being a good person is part of the thing I love about your podcast is like, even though you may not agree with their stance, you're open to understanding why they feel that way.
Absolutely.
And that's like the whole
That's
ethos
the whole thing,
of
yeah.
what you're about right now, which is awesome.
You wouldn't keep coming back to the platform if I just agreed with everything.
Exactly.
It'd be boring.
Yeah, it's
Well, we want people to question and wonder, and that's a huge part about the world we live in today. Now people are getting out there and they are questioning and wondering, because 2020 literally put us in this, what the fuck is going on? And we need to know more,
Yeah.
and dial into our community. But yeah, ask questions, wonder. Like sometimes I even disagree with somebody to open a conversation and see what they think, spitballing.
Yeah, last week I had one with a life coach that we talked about self-study, and again, that goes back to POME. Like, I know that this helps me when I get frustrated or when I feel lonely, and what's weird is nature's huge. I don't feel lonely out there. I feel at home. I feel like I'm an elk or some kind of.
It's comforting.
I'm a lion out in the jungle, but at the same time, it's just such a cool reminder.
Yeah, I like that. Like, yeah, definitely one of those places where you can be alone and not feel alone.
Yeah.
Feel maybe the closest to
Yeah.
what home would be,
Yeah.
defined as when you are in nature, even if you are alone, like you said.
Yeah.
Even if it's going to a lake. I mean, I know being from the South, there's not that much to do. There's football and drinking, which I guess you could get outside and walk around with a Bud Light.
Right?
But
Yeah.
I'm not hating. I miss those days. They're dear to my heart. But yeah, through quarantine up here, I put quotes on that because I wasn't going to let the government tell me to literally sit in my little corner at my desk and not go anywhere and be fearful.
Exactly.
Got me working out a lot, got me yogaing, got me meditating, even out in nature. Like, I'll do the breath work before I jump in the cold plunge. And I have no towel, which that's what in my head makes me crazy. I'm just sitting like Indian style in the sun, like, I'm good, man. Like, I'm completely at peace.
At one, man.
And where is that? That's nature for me.
Yeah.
So
And that we all agree with you completely, I think.
yeah,
And
huge fans of these guys.
Yeah.
Go check them
I
out.
feel like if you've never experienced nature, then definitely try it.
Yeah, there probably are people listening that, you know,
Yeah.
you may get out for a hike a year, and that's fine too. Maybe next year try to do 2 hikes and then just kind of keep growing from there.
Yeah.
Because it is very important in this world, and it just goes back to like ancient history. I feel like nature, being outside, even if you don't want to admit it, that fresh air probably felt really good, and that's just the small start, is getting out
Totally.
there. Nature therapy, your meditation space, like that's huge,
Well, our ancestors back in like the 1400s were
Lived outside.
Vikings and
Yeah.
fucking,
Savage.
they were savages. They lived in nature. They
Literally
hunted.
ran
They
the
thrived in
world.
nature.
They thrived in nature.
Yeah.
And that's a part of us.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't ever, I don't know, expand on that or acknowledge it or realize it until you get out there and sit for a second
Yeah.
with
But
yourself.
the earth is our soul, like
Yeah.
that we wouldn't be anything without the earth. Like our blood and our heart and soul is literally connected through the roots of the earth.
And technology is and can be a great thing, but in some senses it's diverted us from our roots of being connected to the earth. And we all live in such little hermetically sealed, synthetically made boxes and worlds and vehicles and all these things that, yeah, that's just really our reminder to everyone to get out there, put your feet in the dirt, touch a plant, touch a tree, breathe fresh air instead of, all of our recycled air from living indoors. So
Well, and that's also why we strive to be successful as well, because we run like the media right now. We love the media, but also we're trying to detach. Half of me going off the grid is literally, I'm the number one person to text you back within 20 seconds.
She's
You
fast.
don't hear from me within 10 minutes, call the police.
something's wrong.
Yeah, I like dropped my network down from like 150 people on like close friends to like 10.
Yeah.
People that inspire me, and we're trying to be successful so I can hire someone to do that, so we can get out in nature, go to farms. do
Renee's
the
phone is
sustainable.
sometimes closed.
Yeah, sometimes. Like
There
right
you
now,
go.
what's she doing over there? But
Yeah.
huge. You know, we're trying to disconnect. Like, that's huge for us. That's like on my list. Like, to never have to touch my phone or do media work. Email us. You know, we'll figure it out. You know.
Yeah, these guys are fucking awesome. So, is there like where do we find you? Where do we follow? What's the website?
Productofmyenvironment.com is where you can find us. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at POME Global, POME Global. We'll get you on both of our socials there. And keep your eyes and ears peeled for a link from Open to Everything to help you save money and to help fund the podcast. Use OpenTO Everything at checkout as a discount and promo code.
We'll definitely
That's what's up.
put it all on our stories on Instagram and Facebook. We also, Back to Nature is never closed. We are releasing a blog series based on Nature is Never Closed. So we do have a blog section on our website, and it's usually about mental health or sustainability.
So yeah, we're excited about this because it's just another way to inspire people to get out. You know, reading some of these stories, you know, like you guys hopefully will read them soon. We've read through most of them already. You read them and it makes you want to go do that instantly. Like some of these stories are so cool. Everything people are doing, people are seeing. You know, some of the locations we're not going to disclose because people, you know, they have their secret spots in nature that they want to keep private. But really, it's another way to inspire people to get out and experience nature.
Yeah. And you know what's free is hitting us up on social media. Like we've got your back. We're in the same particular situation.
Yeah.
Reaching out to POME Global, you know, just we're all there for each other.
Yeah, and if you've been through something, one of us has probably been through it, so
Yeah.
feel free to reach out.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So
And write us a blog piece. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, nature is very therapeutic, and writing is also very therapeutic. And steps of self-care, self-love, and like our journey, writing actually is a huge thing. If you wrote even just like gratitude for yourself every morning, like I am strong, I am beautiful, I am aware, I am present, I am alive. Doing that 5 things before you wake up, drink your water, do it every day, and you'll realize the way you talk to yourself or what you put out there. Stress relieving, like you'll just be mentally more stable. So I'm trying to encourage humans to write, especially with their own voice. It's kind of like your podcast right now too.
and my book.
And your book. You're going to
Right.
say whatever you want. It's going to be your vibe, your voice, and I want to hear that through your story.
It's extremely therapeutic, so I'm right there with you.
So we're encouraging people to open other avenues and be creative because times are tough and people's mental abilities are just shattered right now. So write, get in nature, share your experience, and inspire others. That's my other biggest tagline.
That's
Be
all
inspired
about.
or inspire. You can pick both and do both, or you can just be open to being inspired every day.
Yep.
My life is written on humans. I'm obsessed with humans. So being off the grid is hard for me because I am obsessed.
I guess I'm what's
know?
called a broker in this situation.
Yeah.
Like I'm completely inspired by y'all, and hopefully this is a medium to
Inspire
then
us.
re-inspire someone else to do again whatever the hell they want
Yeah.
and believe in themselves. Because they go back to the affirmations every single day. You got to talk to yourself really well. You got to become your best friend. That's the only way you're gonna start finding how creative you can be and being curious with life.
Open up different avenues.
Gotta love ourselves to be able to give true love.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to believe that for yourself. And you're going to be the one with your thoughts for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? What is your therapy?
This is the only person each of us is stuck with all the rest of our life, like you said.
Forever.
So-
Make your thoughts count.
Well, you guys are stuck. You 3 are stuck with me. I'm sorry too, but
We have a choice.
we'll be old. We'll be old and gray. But yeah, everybody else out there, you may not have to be stuck with me, but you're stuck with who's inside.
Yeah.
So
Word. Well, appreciate you guys tuning back in. Go follow them. And until next time.
thank you, E.
Yeah, thank you.